Hey guys, Coach Ben here, bigbenchas.com. Today I want to answer a question from my man Octi on YouTube. He's always very active in our posts, always liking our videos, always dropping comments. I appreciate it, bud. I love to answer your question for you. So anyways, he says, liked. Appreciate the thumbs up, buddy. Anyways, can you talk about programming more? Absolutely can. You guys just let me know what you want to hear and I will film it for you. I'll ask a specific question. Right now I'm using Conjugate for my bench. I'm rotating through 4 to 5 variations and hitting 1 to 5 rep max PRs with great success. On my max effort day, should I hit some singles at 90-95%? Then do more volume with 70-80% instead. Thanks. All right, so for those of you who don't understand or know what the Conjugate system is, really popularized by Westside Barbell. That's the system that they use. It composed of a max effort day where, just like Octi, he has 4 to 5 different variations, all similar to his main movement. So he's probably doing something like a competition bench, perhaps a close grip bench. Maybe he's trying to hit PRs on floor press. Whatever it may be, that's all unique to you. But you're rotating those 4 to 5 exercises each week, but you're trying to PR on them. All right, whether that's a 5 rep max, 4, 3, 2, 1 rep max, you name it. The goal is to do better than before, PR on that exercise, and keep them rotating. All right, so you never fall into just the same exercise over and over. All right, stresses the system a little differently. And I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume he's doing speed work or dynamic effort day later in the week, and that's lower percentage, usually with accommodating resistance such as chains or bands. Really going for the goal of force production, trying to be fast with the lighter weights. All right, so I'm just gonna assume that of him. So he has those 2 bench days. So he says here, rotating through 4 to 5 variations and hitting 1 to 5 rep max PRs with great success. So I'm gonna stop you right there, bud. You know, if you're finding that you're hitting these PRs with great success, you know, why even bother messing with it? You know, it sounds like you got something good working for you. As long as those PRs are translating over to a bigger 1 rep on the competition bench. All right, because at the end of the day, that's what we need to focus on improving, is that competition bench 1 rep max. Is at the meet, that's what it is. It's not going to be a max floor press, not going to be anything like that. So we can do all the variations we want, but at the end of the day, if it doesn't translate to a higher 1 rep max competition bench press, then, you know, it's all for naught. And we can get stronger in all kinds of things, but it's got to translate well, right? So if you're finding that you're hitting these PRs with great success and your 1 rep max competition bench is climbing, then don't change anything. It's just a matter of, if it's not fixed or if it's not broken, don't fix it. All right? Sounds like you have a good system working out for you. I would continue to just roll with that. You know, you don't have to throw anything into it if it's working. Start playing around with it. If you stall out for a while, you know, then you can start making some changes, but I wouldn't even touch it. I think you're fine how you are. Sounds like things are working for you. But I would throw in, typically, what I like to see out of people, especially if they're going to run this type of programming. I'm a big component of higher frequency and a lot of volume. So the intensity doesn't always have to be so high, but as long as you're doing a lot of benching, practicing the movement pattern, and I like to actually see people practicing the competition bench movement more than once a week. So I'm not the biggest fan of the variations, so you might want to consider throwing in the competition bench just for movement practice after you max out on something else. But I'm big on the volume and then frequency. So 2 days is my minimum on benching. All right, I'll make sure I get 2 days in. But for you, adding something in, not if it's working, but I'd like to see most people take away that speed day, if anything. Leave the max effort day. Maybe throw in a few accessories here and there after you max out. That's a pretty strenuous day. You don't have to overkill it with a lot of volume. But if you're going to change anything, consider changing the speed day, just because I haven't seen personally speed work really affect anything with myself or the people that I coach in a great way. So I'm not the biggest fan of speed work. Doesn't mean it doesn't work. I'm sure it works great for a lot of people. I'm just not seeing the results translate with the people that I coach. And I have my own unique system that I've developed. So I'm a much bigger fan of doing some kind of volume work with your second day. So replace the speed with some more volume work, whether that's a 5x10 of some benching variation that you may need. So if you are stuck on the chest on the bench press, I love doing like a 5x10 of Spoto pressing and throwing in that little Jen Thompson twist to it, where you're dropping quick with the weight, trying to catch it right at the bottom, dead stop, have that control, fire back, and then go and do 5x10 close grip, build your triceps. And then I've even thrown in 5x20 dumbbell press. This is a lot of bench volume, hammering yourself with some bench volume on that last day, and then give yourself more time to recover again for your max effort work. Speed work for me, I find that is, it's a lot in regards to you're doing a lot of sets. Sometimes it's as high as 12x3 or so, 12 sets at 3 on the speed work. But the percentage is so low, it's just not very taxing. It's good for movement practice and that force development, but it's not terribly taxing. You can usually recover pretty quick from that. So I would actually prefer to see people use that as a way to attack a third bench day, right? Use the speed work that you're probably doing on your second bench day, maybe throw that somewhere in the middle, so maybe closer to your max effort day, and then save the end of the week when you're a little more recovered for that higher volume. Hit your system there, get more benching in, and then at least give yourself optimally 3 more days to recover, and then get into your max effort work. So how that would break down, maybe you do your max effort bench on Tuesday, you do some speed work Wednesday, maybe even early Thursday, give yourself Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You could even give yourself a Monday, and then go about it again. So we'll hit that higher volume day on like a Friday or something. All right, so hope that makes sense to you. That's what I would do. So you're asking if you should throw in some more volume at the end of the max effort. I would, since it's already a max effort day, I'd maybe kick it back and just practice the competition movement around 90%. It's going to be lower than the percentage for like a 3-rep max. You should be able to handle that weight just fine. And that's just to get some practice in with your competition bench. And then if you want to throw in some more volume, I would just make that your second day instead of the speed work. Make it volume work, get a lot of that in, and then perhaps if you want to keep the speed work, you could probably finagle it in there somewhere in the middle, and cut down on how many sets you're doing. So maybe you only do 6x3 or 8x3 instead of 12x3. So I hope that makes sense. If anyone else wants to drop comments, I'm happy to answer it. I love to touch on programming more, so if anyone has anything in specific they'd like to talk about, or you want specific programming help, I'm glad to answer that. All right, check out my man Octa Octi on YouTube. Appreciate the love, guys. You know me, Coach Ben here. You can meet me on a bench.